Okay, so we're here, I suppose, tonight to tell you about our Connecting Artists 22 program, which is an open call for artists who live with intellectual disabilities. And we're looking for 10 artists from all over Ireland who would like to participate in this program. So we have to say thanks to Bank of Ireland and the Business to Art Begins Together Fund, they're actually funding this project. So we were providing a safe, supported environment online for 10 artists from all over Ireland where they can develop their arts practice. The idea being that we will support them to take that next step with their art to move it to the next level. At the end of the program, there will be an exhibition in the Royal College of Surgeons, and each participant will get to exhibit one piece of artwork. The goal really of this whole project is really to increase the visibility of the artists from the disability community, and just really showcase their artwork in a fabulous location at the Royal College of Surgeons. So to apply for this, you are going to go to connectionsartscentre.ie. The web address is here at the top. Can you all see that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, www.connectionsartscentre.ie. This is our homepage, what you can see here. And if you see here at the top, there's a white banner that says find out more about Connecting Artists 2022. If you click on that banner, that will bring you directly to the page with all the information. And this page will tell you how who can apply. So any person over the age of 18 living with an intellectual disability on the island of Ireland. So anyone from all over Ireland really would love to kind of hit every corner of the country. And ideally, we're looking for people who already have a creative practice, who are participating in some format, whether it's at home or a part of a group or in a supported services, that they are already creating their own artwork. So how do you apply? This is literally the web page. So you download and complete all the questions in the application form. And then see down here, it says download application form. You've got it in two forms. You've got a plain text and the other two forms you can download the application in. So if you click on that yellow button, that will give you the actual application form to download. So when you download that, there are some questions on it to be completed, and I'm going to show you those on the next slide. So this is some of the application form. The first part of the application form, we're asking for personal details, just a little bit of information about you, your name, your age, your contact details, what part of the country you're from. There's a few questions like that. They're fairly simple. The next one is to tell us about your art. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your artwork, about what sort of art that you create, and why would you like to be part of Connections. There's a few more questions around your arts practice. And really, we just want to know a little bit about the person. You know, we want to know what you enjoy doing, what sort of artwork you enjoy doing, and that there's no trick questions here. We just want to get to know people a little bit more, that's all. Then there's the next session is there is a few more questions on your art practice, and then we'll go into your needs. So we're asking people if they need any support throughout this process. I would love to say that we have a huge budget and we can support everybody's needs, but we don't. You know, we will do everything we can to support people, but we don't. I'm just putting that out there, guys. Unfortunately, we don't have a huge budget for this, but we will do what we can. So we'd really like people to let us know if they need any extra supports and how, you know, that we can help them with, you know. And then along with this application, once it's completed, it has to be emailed to barry@connectionsartscentre.ie by February 16th. And with that, we would like you to attach 5 clear images of your work. And if somebody would like to, if they're something that they like to do, they're more than welcome to create a little video and send the video along. It can be literally a video about them or showing their artwork or showing, you know, a little bit of their personality, whatever they'd like to do. But this is not a necessity. This is just if that is something that people would like to do, they feel they could show off their work more. This project, to facilitate this particular this exhibition space, we are looking for artwork that can be exhibited in framed wall pieces. So these are like drawings, paintings, textile art, mixed media pieces. That's just specifically for this project. So unfortunately, we're not looking for 3D sculptures for this particular project. Hopefully we will be running another one in the near future where we'll include more different or more other creative practices, but this particular one is for framed art pieces. So here's the terms and conditions. All of this, again, as I say, is on the website. I'm just running through it with you so you'll know where everything is. The artists will be selected by a judging panel. By taking part in the program, each artist agrees to engage in developmental process, attend virtual classes, and partake in the final exhibition. Really, what we are trying to do is we are trying to build awareness around the amazing artwork that is being created out there, and we want to document the process. So that's why we're asking people to be aware of that. We will be documenting the process and creating some research from this to develop the next program. So 2 artworks will be selected from the 10 pieces to be reproduced as once-off prints and gifted to Bank of Ireland and Business to Arts. The artist will receive a license fee of €100 for this reproduction of this artwork. And these artworks will be selected from the exhibition by a public vote. So we're going to put up the 10 pieces and ask the public to vote for them. And then that's the way that will be chosen. So again, about each artist agrees to be recorded and that there are other works produced throughout the program to be shared as part of marketing and social media campaigns as well. The reason behind this is we are really trying to build awareness again of the creative practices and the amazing artwork that's going on. And to do that, the world we live in, we do have to share stuff on social media. So we would like people to be very aware of that. We will be sharing as we go along content on social media as part of building campaign and awareness around what we are trying to do. So we would ask all artists to agree to feedback sessions again at the end to help us to improve the process for future candidates, because we really hope this will become an annual exhibition, something that we can really get people to support and go behind and, you know, actually run it again next year. So the details, if anyone wants any more details, the website connectionsartcentre.ie, click on that bar at the top and you'll find all that information I've given you there. You'll find all there.
We can try and arrange it.
And if anyone needs any more help, they can ring me there. My number is there. If anyone wants to write it down, I'll leave it there for a second. And Barry's email is there as well. So there are 2 other places that you can contact us. So we're very open for you to contact us directly. There's no problem at all. You have my phone number, you have Barry's email. So please feel free to reach out for any more information. I'm just going to stop sharing this and then we will just, you can ask any questions that you have, guys. So let me get rid of that. Okay.
Miriam, are these virtual classes likely to take place?
On a Thursday evening from 5 to 7. Isn't that right, Sharon?
Yeah.
5 to 7 p.m.
We'll do that, yeah. And when would they likely start, or is there
It'll be early March.
Early March. Oh.
Yeah. We're under a timeline.
Zoom. Is it Zoom they'll be done on?
Yeah. Yeah.
So early March. And how many of them are there? There was virtual classes.
So we're looking at 10 meetings in total, Kate.
So 10
Yeah.
2-hour sessions.
Yeah, but what we're going to do is we're going to be, I suppose, assessing the support needs of each of the artists that come on the program, you know, so that time may be divided up into some 1-to-1 sessions, depending on, you know, I suppose the group of artists and yeah, the support needs and you know, the mentoring needs as well there, you know, but the aim behind it is to kind of create a really connected creative group together, you know, so there's peer-to-peer learning and support, you know, that there's you know, sharing of ideas, encouraging each other, you know, talking about the different barriers maybe that, you know, that are present, all of the experiences, you know, that the artists have, you know, and maybe assisting and supporting each other with those and finding other ways to kind of overcome them, you know, with the help of connections as well, you know. So it's really kind of looking at each of the artists and seeing what's needed. But we will meet together each week for over 10 weeks while we create our pieces.
Yeah, like there's no need for the person to be worried about it. You know,
Not at all.
if they
No.
get anxious about it or whatever, it can be talked through, and,
Oh God, yeah.
you know, solutions will be met. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
okay, that's good.
Sharon is the lead facilitator, and there'll be another support staff there as well. So there'll always be 2 people there in the room. And everything is going to be led based on the needs of the participants. So it's very hard
Brilliant,
for us
yeah.
to give you an exact how that will flow, because it will depend
Yeah.
on the group, you know, but we will
Trial
also
and error. Yeah.
yeah, we're putting things in place, like, you know, for people to support them creating a bio for the exhibition, you know, writing a little bit about themselves, you know, about pricing artwork and things like that, packages that we can hopefully share with people, that they'll be able to, you know, get that side of things as well, you know, the back work that has to be done for an exhibition.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I just have one question. Do they have to be any certain size, or the drawings or the artwork?
No.
No, grant.
Miriam, if the artists, will they require a lot of materials for the process when if they get on the?
There is going to be a budget for art materials,
Yeah.
and there's also a budget for transport. So if we have people traveling from around the country, there will be a budget to actually attend the exhibition, so that you actually make sure everybody's there.
No, it's not the budget. I just wondered, I was prepared to buy it myself, you know.
Yeah, no, we have a budget for everybody, so that we can either arrange for art materials to be delivered to people. We'll organize that if we know what they need. Or if people like to buy their own art materials, that's perfect. All we need from them is a receipt, and we can reimburse them the money.
I'm not really.
Photos or the pictures.
The deadline is, sorry, I should
16th
know.
of February.
Who's what? Sorry.
16th of February.
16th of February.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Eileen.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm here looking for it. I should know it off by heart.
Mhm.
5, isn't it? 5 photos.
Yes.
Well done.
Does anyone else have any questions for me?
Mute.
There you
I'm
go.
not. I'm mute. I'm just wondering where do you decide on the level of disability?
We don't, Mary, to be honest with you. Sorry, Miriam, is that okay?
No,
I'm not
you go
speaking
ahead,
over you.
please, Sharon.
Yeah. I suppose one of the reasons why we looked at intellectual disability this time around is because of the experience that we've had so far working with artists, and also having a look around to see the opportunities that are available for creatives and artists who live with a disability. And there seemed to be more support and more programs or opportunities out there for people who live with a physical disability, as opposed to somebody who lives with an intellectual disability. So that's why we chose this cohort of people, to use a term, you know, for this piece of work, for this program of work. We don't make any decisions on disability. We don't ask for any proof. We don't do any of that. You know, we're human beings, we're artists, we're creatives, and we're just meeting people at face value. So if somebody feels that this is appropriate for them to apply for, and that they'd like those extra supports, and they'd like to work with a creative group and make those connections and take the next step into their, you know, in their artistic career, then we're here to help them. So there's no criteria involved at all. You know, there's help and the support and there's creativity for everybody. We're an arts model, we're not a medical model. And, you know, we stay far, far, far away from that.
Great. Thanks
Is
for
that
that.
okay?
Yeah.
No problem. Anybody else? No.
Anything now?
I think biggest thing for us is for people to know that it is a safe, supported space, and you know that it's going to be a creative space for people to really get into expanding their creativity, you know, and showing other people what they do as well. So sharing their artwork, which is always a really, you know, great next step to take, just to actually put it out there and let other people see what you're doing as well, you know.
Yeah.
And then the exhibition is a fantastic opportunity, you know, on a national level, to build awareness and show people the amazing artwork that's out there and what's being created.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such, I don't know if any of the people who will be applying have exhibited before, but it's such an amazing feeling, you know, and especially if it's that first time, you know, to stand there and to look at your work up on a wall, you know, and it's framed beautifully, and it looks amazing, and it does so much for your confidence, you know, and for you stepping into your own power as an artist as well, you know. So that's what we want to support people with, you know, and also to, you know, to kind of grow together, because we're going to grow over the 10 weeks of we're preparing together. We're going to get to know each other. Hopefully we're going to have a bit of fun together as well, which is very, very important, you know.
Yeah.
I think creating art can be quite a solo, if it's a pastime, a hobby, or a job, whatever it is for you. So it can be quite insular. I know I am, you know, I'm just there painting away. So when you get to be with a group of your peers, you know, and you have that connection through creativity, you know, and you make friends, and you have, you know, people understand you, you know, you're with your people, you know, so you build friendships, you can have a little bit of fun, you know, a little bit of laughter, you can share problems, you can work things out together. So it's wonderful to have, and that's what we want to kind of nurture and grow there too, you know.
So just for understanding, so you'll have your laptop. If you get chosen, you'll have your laptop, and then you can just work on the table doing your own drawing.
Yep.
Along, and have all your art supplies around you while you're.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when we're at our best, Fiona, is when
Yeah.
we're covered in paint and talking together, and, you know, sharing ideas, and, you know,
Yeah.
even trying out different things, and kind of watching other people when they're working, because you learn so much by watching somebody else, and they might be using a new material that you'd never thought of, or, you know, just, and you know, anything. It's just like I work in a couple of studios as well, and, you know, and on classes, and somebody will say, oh look, I tried this and this happened, and, you know, I kind of go, oh wow, I think I'll do that myself, you know. So the other person's creative
Yeah.
voice is using the material and stuff like that. So absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I give the information across correctly about the virtual classes, so there's no confusion.
Yeah, absolutely. And if, I suppose, if the people that you're supporting, if and they're, you know, if it's not watercolors or whatever, if they have kind of a sit-up easel, all the better, because you know, they're kind of face to face, and then they're here, and then they can kind of share their work. But whatever they have, you know, is
absolutely. So the next steps are to pick out the 5 pictures that are going to be, and take photos and email them in with the application form.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And as Miriam said, even a short video, you know, of the person, the work, having a chat, you know, about what they do, the practice.
All right.
Yeah, being really interesting.
So I could do that with just my phone.
Absolutely, yeah. We're not looking for high quality, you know.
Yeah, very good.
It's just to meet the people, really, you know, as opposed to having to, you know, ask people to do interviews. It just gives us a little insight into the people.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. Right, that's great.
So part of, just so everybody knows, part of this is really about documentation as well. So we will be asking people to sign recording video and audio consent forms as well as part of it, so we can document everything. And we will be recording the Zoom sessions just for our own use.
Yeah.
You know, so it will be, we will be creating at the end, hopefully, some sort of a documentation video to go alongside the exhibition. But we will be making sure everybody's happy with that before anything goes out, you know. So we'll be making sure everybody's, you know, happy with what's in it.
And when will the decision be made? Do you have any idea? Or
it'll be, we're hoping to start early March, so it will be within the first 2 weeks of March, really. Anyway, the decision.
Right.
See Sharon's face.
For sure.
Don't worry, it's all going to plan. There'll be no problems.
No problems at all. No problems.
Never.
So you said the second week in March, decision will be made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second week of March, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll email everybody by then.
Great.
Anyone else got any questions there?
Yeah, I have one question. I don't use paints myself. I use color and pencils. Would they be efficient for this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whatever you work with, Eileen. We're like, it's really whatever anybody works with. There's no criteria in what medium you use, except for that it needs to fit into a frame, really is the big thing. So,
And I don't know if we're on mute or not.
no, we can hear you.
Harry, I was just wondering what the structure of the classes is. Does it mean, I mean, who's teaching, and will everybody be working on an assignment each week, or how does it work?
No, so I will be mentoring and supporting the group. Okay, so each week we'll get together, and the structure is really going to be led by the artists who were chosen and their needs. We're going to decide on a theme together, you know, for the exhibition, if we all want to follow the same theme or if there's a few different themes there. We're going to decide what mediums we're going to use. We're going to be creating smaller works, sketches. We're going to be looking at putting a piece together to be exhibited, you know, and kind of going through the stages. Everybody's going to have their own different way of working, their own practice. I have my own practice of sketching things up, working out ideas, all that kind of stuff, you know. We're going to be working to a deadline, because there will be a deadline there where the painting or the piece of art has to be ready. We're going to be looking at different aspects of stepping into the world as an artist, as opposed to creating at home as a hobby. And some of the artists who are chosen may have done that already. So we're going to be doing peer-to-peer support and learning. We're going to be talking about our own arts practices, and we're going to be creating while we're doing it. We're going to be looking at ways of, maybe if some people are finding it difficult or stressful, we're going to be looking at ways to manage that kind of stress. We're going to be looking at different sorts of drawing and painting exercises. As Miriam said there, we're going to be looking at putting a bio together, so the artist's bio together, talking about social media. You know, do people use it? Do they show their work there? Is that something that they might be interested in as an artist? Looking at other artists, investigating kind of what other people are doing out there, and also, and most importantly, really, what it is that they want to do, you know, and how far do they want to take their practice. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, listen, there's going to be a lot in it, but, and you know, there's a lot of structure around the body of work, but really we want to be led by the artist, and it's a discovery. It's kind of it's going to be a journey of discovery as well, as to look at artists, you know, who live with an intellectual disability, and what is it that they need? What supports do they need? What are the barriers, you know, in their way? How can we support those artists to kind of overcome those barriers? And it's also kind of looking with a wider lens as well, so to share this work, so that, you know, the artists who are chosen themselves, so that they can share their learnings out into a wider community to support other artists and other creatives who live with an intellectual disability. So the artists who are chosen are going to be pioneers, really, because we're going to be looking at this as a project, taking it on as a group, and supporting each other and being mentored and supported. Some people, as I said at the start, may need extra one-to-one support. That is going to be provided. And it's amazing the different ways, you know, the closer you get to the exhibition day as well, that some people might find that very, very stressful. You know, they could find it quite overwhelming. And it's about looking at that and managing that too, and putting supports in place for that, and how a person might manage that for themselves as well. You know, so yeah, it's quite holistic, I suppose.
Sorry, this may have been in the materials that you sent through already, but what is that exhibition date?
We actually haven't got a confirmed date, because, as you can imagine, with COVID and the way things have been going on and off, we didn't set a date. We were waiting to see how things were, but the idea is it should be in June, end of May, June.
Okay, great.
Sounds good.
And our hope would be that all the artists will be there on the day for the opening of the exhibition, and that we would have our video there as well.
Thanks a million. I learned loads tonight. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Really nice to see you all.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.